Hey there everyone, welcome back to my second 10th Doctor video, link to the first one up above, and as the title suggests, I'm going through my least favourite Doctor Who episodes featuring David Tennant as the Doctor. Now, I love David Tennant's run as a whole, however, given he spent 4 years straight as the Doctor, there were bound to be some misfires, and that's what I'm talking about today. This is all my own opinion, so don't take my opinion too seriously, and for that reason, please be sure to comment your least favourite 10th Doctor stories below, and whilst you're down there, be sure to subscribe. But before I begin, here are my honourable mentions. The Christmas Invasion, Tooth and Claw, and the Lazarus Experiment. Now, spoilers ahead, and let's begin.
Okay. Hello, Z.
This was our intro to Season 2. This was our intro to our first David Tennant season, and it is so weak. For starters, for some reason it makes a strange choice of bringing back Lady Cassandra from the end of the world. This was a really strange choice. Number one, her return doesn't make any sense in terms of story or canon. And number two, who was asking for Lady Cassandra to come back? She was really annoying in the end of the world, and she's annoying in this too. If anything, she's more annoying in this story. I do like what they do with the cyclical ending they give her character, but Lady Cassandra just doesn't fit in at all. The production design is awful, in particular the cat people look horrible. They look so weird, I can't get over it. I do like the concept of the medicine and the cures that they have here, but it's just not properly explored. There's such a good theme they could have linked into it, and they just missed the mark. The Doctor has some pretty good moments here, and I think his moments with Rose are quite well done, and it really shows a lot of talent on the actors' parts. But other than that, the story and the pacing just don't work in this case. It's just all around a pretty weak and bland episode. The Idiot's Lantern is so hard to rewatch because of how cringeworthy it tends to be. David Tennant feels like he's on autopilot here, and because of a lack of great material given, he just feels so awkward and out of place in this story. It's really weird. I think that the idea of him impersonating an American and all of his romantic dialogue with Rose, it just doesn't work at all. I do like the idea of a villain that infests your TV. I think that's a really cool idea, especially in this 50s aesthetic. But the effect it has on other people really sucked and was really leaving a lot to be desired. I also feel like the third act and resolution was incredibly rushed. Like I said, I do like the 50s setting, and because of that the production design is pretty good, as is the direction, but other than the TV stuff and all this cool 50s stuff, it just feels very low budget. It just feels very dull aesthetically. It was a good idea that was just poorly executed through sloppy writing. It's just so uncomfortable to get through. And tonight on BBC One, Doctor Who gets stuck in traffic. Yay! Gridlock sees the return of the Macra, which is something that I completely forgot about and will probably forget about tomorrow. I really just didn't click with Gridlock. Something about it just felt very false and not genuine. It doesn't help that this episode is just really boring with some horrendously dull plotting. The idea of it is, what if we had a traffic jam, but in the future? And this future, it was meant to look grimy, which it did for the beginning and the end, but for the middle, it just looks ugly and so fake. I should probably refer to the Macra. They are a non-presence in this. Like I said, I completely forgot they were here. They're not used well at all. There's not any great horror in this story. It just... I don't know why they put the Macra in here, because I don't think anyone was clamoring to see them again. I think this story is quite well directed, but its editing left a lot to be desired. As well as that, there's a lot of very predictable humour in here, a lot of reused sets which didn't work here. One thing I will say in this story's benefit, however, is that the ending with the face of Bo and the prophecy, that was all really good. However, all the build up to that really sucked. This story was just so uninteresting. Okay, are you sure this episode wasn't written by a child? Because I have no idea what this story was going for. The young girl was a really bad actress, and as a whole the acting just wasn't great. I think the alien presence in the story was really annoying, and all of the stuff of imagination aliens using drawings it just didn't work at all. I kinda liked the idea of the mother keeping the daughter trapped inside, but as the story progressed, I just found myself less and less invested. The idea of, I just want them to be my friends, I want them to play with me, was really stupid. And whilst I like the idea of the demon of her father hiding in the cupboard, the rest of this story was pretty much a joke. There was no levity or tension to most of the stories. There was no stakes to what was going on. The Doctor and Rose feel completely dispensable in this story, mostly because this episode didn't really have a story. There's the end bit, which feels completely tacked on, of the Doctor putting the Olympic torch up, which lets the alien now? No, sorry. That's just too stupid for me. I think the dialogue is really bad. I think the direction is really bad. I just don't understand this story. I don't know what they were trying to do. I wish I could, and I'm sure that they had some good ideas going into this, but they really screwed it up with its execution. And because of that, Fear Her had to be the penultimate choice on this list. I've actually got to talk about Love and Monsters. Oh dear God. I mean, everyone was expecting this to be the number one choice. It is the go-to answer for what the worst 10th Doctor story is, and there is a very good reason for that. For starters, I'll say one positive thing about this story, mainly because there's only one positive thing I can give it. I like the idea of a group of people that have experienced the Doctor's kind acts and some of the devastation that comes with it. I like the idea of that, and I like the idea of them thinking that there is some greater power who is helping them out. That's cool. Unfortunately, the rest of the episode absolutely stinks. Linda, the idea of that group could have worked so easily, but the execution was just so bad. For starters, I'll talk about Peter Kay, because he kind of just shows up and goes, "Oh, we need to find out everything about the Doctor," which was already kind of weird. I don't know how he found them, they never really explain it. And then, of course, there's the Absorbaloff. Oh god, I've got to talk about the Absorbaloff. This giant green thing that sucks people's faces into him. I don't know what to say. No, this is just absolutely dreadful. The design was literally drawn by a child and no one thought of changing it. They just went, yeah, it's good as it is. Who thought that the idea of him eating humans and having their faces be on his body talking to him was in any way clever? All of the humour is absolutely out of place and terrible in this episode. There are so many cringeworthy sequences of character building between Elton and a lot of these other characters. By the way, this chemistry between them was very weak in my opinion. The Doctor and Rose feel very tacked in at the end, and they sort of just leave Elton behind once they're part of the story. The plot is ridiculously stupid, it's bad pace, and it's just weird. This episode had glimmers of whether it was good ideas or good actors. It had an idea of where to go, and it completely ruined them by some really, really strange choices that I just don't understand. And because of that, Love and Monsters, I haven't even talked about the ending. Then they turn her into a bloody paving stone so that then he can be her friend. Terrible, absolutely awful. Love and Monsters is the dumbest New Who story I have ever seen. And that's the 10th Doctor done. Thank you so much for watching this video, and also big thanks to Veritaserum UK for providing the footage in this video and my other videos. And my next Doctor Who video will be on the 2nd Doctor, played by Patrick Troughton, so be sure to watch that one when it comes out. However, in the meantime, I am going to be making some non-Doctor Who videos. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe, like and comment, and also follow my Twitter at MrChicken4321. Once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.